Okay, well, should we start, I guess?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Now that it's been 30 minutes of us jabbing. Okay, so...
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Have an onion.
The camera opens of the demon grinder lumbering across the Avernus landscape, strapped to the front, Cedric, pipes hanging off his side, playing his guitar, flames shooting out. No, I'm just kidding. So when we left off last time, we had just left the demon zapper after kind of
cool shit.
Yeah, that after facing off against this horde of demons, and you decided to just continue on. That she was not very welcoming to you staying and hanging out.
You know, I was willing to grant her a wish.
I'm sure you were.
Real quick, did I miss a car fight?
No,
not yet.
We're
good. Yeah. we
I butchered like 4 or 5 fucking demons.
Yeah.
He exploded heads and all
yeah,
kinds of
you
crazy shit.
like you went.
Jesse tried to drive the thing into a lake.
Oh yeah, Jesse just lost your demon grinder. Yeah, so you guys traveled.
Just drive it into the lake a little, like, dude.
So you guys traveled south. There's this tower that was in the middle of this Styx lake, and as you were watching it, it kind of exploded and disappeared. So you guys were parked on the beach, and you saw some imps kind of hanging out in the middle of this island. And Jesse decided that it would be a good idea to try to float the demon grinder in
7-ton fucking massive.
So if you kill another
machine.
player character, you just get all their XP, right?
Yeah,
so that's
definitely.
4 level ups.
Yeah, exactly. No, so he just about got it stuck, and then he gunned it backing out, and just about threw Styx water all over himself and Six, but they were able to succeed on the saving throws.
He was the guy
that would have been
who
interesting.
tried to ford the Missouri River.
Yeah. So you found out that the tower belonged to Mordenkainen, and that he stops by Avernus every once in a while, and these imps basically wait for him to show up and go up in his tower and deliver messages for him. So
I paid him some gold to inform him that we were here in hell and would like to speak with him.
Yeah. So these imps are supposedly telling Mordenkainen that
he could be our way out.
I don't know, man. Out of character, after we talked about it, I went and looked up a bunch about him. He seems like a dick.
He's a giant.
He's not a good guy.
Oh yeah.
He's not our friend.
Yeah, out of character, he would help you guys if it aligned with what he was looking for or doing.
Oh, yeah.
He would pretend to be I'll help you guys if it his purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Mordenkainen.
In character,
Man, it could be a real fun interaction.
I'm just gonna ask, what's his name, Sim. What he thinks about Mordenkainen.
So you send him a sending.
Yeah, well, I mean not right now.
Okay.
I got limited spell slots right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
No,
just
do it
let
right now.
me know when you're ready. And then you guys traveled south from there.
Demon lady or angel lady's name again?
Zariel.
Zaria.
And then you guys traveled south, and you saw this big bug mandible sticking up out of the ground, and there's this orb, this glowing orb, in between these gigantic 50-foot tall mandibles. And as you approach, all of these demons converged on this demon zapper according to the map. Oh, and I don't know why I put Elturel's map on there.
I was curious if there's a purpose.
And
He was going to tell us that half of the city crumbled and it's just...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
All the
remember this
humans are
place?
dead.
Remember
That
seeing-
Gideon
you
dude is
lose.
completely taken over the
Yeah,
city.
exactly.
Everyone is
You
dead.
guys
Your
took
dad
too
is
long.
dead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, do we need a long rest at any point?
So you guys got a short rest after leaving the demon zapper.
Right.
So yeah, it's up to you guys at this point. She said, you could stay there for an hour,
Right.
and
We
then
got
you
a
had to
short
move
rest.
along.
I could
But-
try and cast.
No, I say we can move on to the next thing, man.
You're
I've
you're
got
How you doing, Ethan?
full. I've
Yeah,
got
I was gonna
17
ask.
hit
Was
points.
I napping with the bug?
Yeah, so we
I don't-
parked
what?
we parked the demon grinder, and you stay with the demon grinder to watch over it to make sure it wasn't stolen or nothing
I
happened to
got
it.
3 spell slots.
How many do you usually have?
4.
Good question.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what he's playing.
12.
If you're like a warlock and you got 2 spell slots and now you got 3. Like,
I'm normally packing 12.
I need a long
I'm
rest,
down to
guys.
3.
I'm feeling down. I'm down like 20 hit points.
I have 3 between level 1
Yeah,
and 2.
I'm down 30 hit points and 9 spell slots.
Yeah, so
I can help with the hit points. Sorry, Josh.
So the demon zapper, there's this gigantic battle. This like big orb like started glowing and like annihilated a ton of them, just into dust immediately. This Dao came up out of the ground and with earth elementals and kind of attacked the demons. You guys helped out. She said thanks, and that she worshipped Zariel and was under Zariel's command, and this was her watch.
Okay.
So
So when we came down on the other side of that like Icar Lake right
no,
there.
you guys came. So
No, like when we first
oh
came
yeah,
to.
so you guys landed here,
Mhm.
made your way. I guess let me do this so Julian can see too, and the people at home, maybe.
Us at home.
That was me.
The people at home. Yeah. So you guys started out, landed right around here.
Yeah.
Made your way up through the mountains. That was where the voice of the mountain was. Came over here. This is where Fort Knucklebone is, and Mad Maggie came up here. That's where the Hell Wasps were. Came down here. Saw that this is where Mordenkainen's tower is. Made your way around here. Forded this riverbed, which was dry. Came down this way. Hit the demon zapper, and then now you're leaving again from there.
Okay. So is this forest? Question mark
So-
something?
So if you touch it, yeah, it will speak to you and tell you what it is.
Yeah. Speak to me, map.
It will say page 107.
Can you say map?
turn to page 107?
thanks, Dora.
Say it louder. It can't hear you.
It will say
Where are we going? To the big red lake.
Demon grinder, no demon grinder.
No, demon grinder. Yes, demon grinder.
so when you press these,
Yep.
it will say your future is written in your blood. She'll open your veins to paint the story hidden in your heart.
Ew.
Oh, that must be Brown Bertha.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Red
Who's
Ruth.
Brown Bertha?
Yeah, Red Ruth, who you have to go to get some potions from, and she did point that out. Mad Maggie pointed out
Yeah.
that
Green Gertrude.
that Red Ruth lives in the bone brambles, so it's some kind of
Right.
forest or something.
An
Bink.
acacia
Okay.
forest making bones.
Hell, man.
I'm just
Right.
binking this whole side of the map.
Did she say we need anything for Ruth Red?
Yes,
Yeah, Red
we
Ruth.
have to get a potion for Maggie.
Yeah.
No, do we have to bring her anything in exchange for
I mean, she owes Maggie a favor, so we're calling in a favor.
Yeah. This says, only fools step through Olok's gates. They lead to nowhere. A wise person must go.
I'm wise.
They lead to nowhere,
Yeah.
or they lead to nowhere someone must go.
Only
Those are
fools-
very different things.
Only fools step through Olok's gates. They lead to nowhere. Nowhere. A wise person wants to go.
Okay. And then, that sounds like so. Is there any binks down below this bink?
Yeah, there's this bink,
Yep.
and this is the Crypt of the Hell Riders.
Which we're going there.
Yeah, and it says, Zariel's fallen companions cannot rest. Nobody can in this nightmare hellscape.
Okay, and
and then-
this thing.
The one below that
Mm-hmm.
says,
Oh no, I'm making you work.
no, you're good. Well, they make this so,
Convoluted.
like, they didn't, on the map, it shows the names of everything, but they don't have any, like, alphabetical order. So I wrote the page numbers on the map so
That's
I could
smart.
look it up, because
Nice.
it was taking forever. This one, a fallen
Somebody should
titan.
absolutely been there.
Yeah, a fallen titan or a wimp with delusions of grandeur. I'll leave that for you to decide.
Neat. Okay,
Uh,
so
And then there's a bink over here if you want as well.
no, that's where the Cibriexes
Yeah,
are.
Cybrix.
Don't know. Just
Do I know
know.
anything about like a Titan? Like, do I know any songs or anything?
Yeah, I think that without a roll, I think you would know that they're that Titans are like they're gone. They've gone by many names over the years. Some of them like Empyreans, titans, stuff like that have kind of been associated with it. They're always like these, gigantic beings that I don't really know the history of Empyreans that much, but they're not native to Avernus at all.
So they're kind of angelic, aren't they?
Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, like, do they destroy?
Like,
We could take them.
Do they build?
Right, I'm thinking Empyrean is
Yeah, they're
celestial. Yeah.
Are they actually like this persecuted group that's kept to one island?
Yeah, they're children of deities from the upper planes. They I think you've heard of them. Like they're the universal manifestation of beauty. They have statuesque appearance.
Yeah.
They never age.
Yeah.
They're very, very powerful.
Let's go there, guys.
All right.
I'm sure everything in songs is always right.
Just
Sure, that'll be nice.
to hear what insanity is, but not because I want to go there at all. I'll bink the fucking
The
angry floaty
the
bullshit.
Cybrex thing.
Yeah. I don't want to go there.
It says, a breeder of horrors and a hoarder of secrets. A Cybrex is said to be as old as the abyss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
See,
terrible.
And it's one of those
But
things
what
like
secrets would we learn?
we need the secrets, I'm sure. I don't want to go there. So
I
we're
can put
here
things
right now.
Yeah.
If we can either go straight down and hit the tomb of the
Crypt of the Hell Riders.
that, and then down to the Titan, and then back around this lake through the forest and the weird gate. Or we can completely lose our minds, go hit the Cybrex, and then the Titan, and then just all the way back up.
Yeah, give me a...
Well, what if we go?
Yeah,
I'm
Julie,
sorry, I
give
was
me
gonna say,
like
what
a...
if we go to the forest?
You want to go to
Okay,
the
go ahead,
forest
Josh.
first?
Yeah, if we did the forest, and then the crypt, and then the Titan, and then the Cybrex.
Well, that would lead us here, 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 and then here, and we'd have to either go way back out of our way if we wanted to go to the gate, or we would try and
Wait,
go...
why do we want to go to the gate?
I don't know, why not?
I got 10 wisdom, bro.
Because we want to do everything, man.
Yeah.
We only have a limited amount of time
If-
in our tour of Avernus.
If we end here, our best way back to Maggie's
we want to hit all the hot spots.
is back this way, which would lead us back to the voice of the mountain, and we still owe her shit.
Straight south, hit that thing, to the floaty things we don't want to go to,
I
and
got
then
it.
back.
Which one of these locations gets us level 9?
My vote is the tomb thing, and then the giant, and then over this way.
So
And
here,
Then we head back to Maggie for a break, and then we head back out again along and follow the river south, I guess, or whatever.
Wait,
well, we need to cross the river
with that
somehow.
plan, when do we go to the forest, Kevin?
It would be third.
Okay. So we don't do the floaty guys?
That with
For
that
now.
with that path, yes. So then,
I'm okay
okay,
with that.
just out of again an insane morbid curiosity, does this bink anything?
So the... Yes.
What'd you press?
This here bridge-looking thing over a big green.
It actually kind of glows the like green pool up on top is what kind of triggers, and it says, "Here you will find a sticky situation. Poor Shumrath isn't the fiend it used to be."
Shumrath.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it sound weak, like we could kill it.
Yeah.
Do I know a Shumrath?
I don't like. Do you have a lot of experience in like the history of Avernus?
Can I roll
No,
religion?
definitely not.
Okay.
I would only know things that like there were songs written
Yeah,
about.
there
and,
wouldn't-
like I heard from other performers.
Yeah, there wouldn't be songs written about this. I don't think.
Would I know from religion?
I'll
Shots on cool.
give you the role just because your father was a Hell Rider and maybe you investigated some Avernus parts.
Okay.
Unnatural 20.
Ooh, okay. You remember something about like demons and devils are always like jockeying for position, and there's this devil named Bel,
Right.
who you've heard of. that may or may not have contacted you. And
Probably not.
And there was this other devil named Shumrath that they were kind of jockeying for position together, and it was a pit fiend, and Bell
Kicked his ass.
kicked his butt, and he was kind of never heard from again.
Neat. So, still probably real strong, but down on his luck.
Random thing. What happened to the shield?
Oh,
With
we
the Lord of Hell
cast a
or
spell to
treasure.
just.
Yeah, it was like the Vault of Amber from Critical Role. So
We have a piece.
Yeah,
Worf has a piece.
Worf has a piece. Sim has a piece that's going to be delivered
okay,
to
yes, I remember
Waterdeep,
this now.
and you guys have a piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was gonna eat it until I realized it was like this big.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like baseball, it's almost softball size.
Because I was just gonna eat it.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
right.
can be Dragonborn.
I'm a dragonborn, not a lizard folk.
Yeah.
I got faith in you.
So yeah, so it's locked away in this demiplane behind the magical art, like kind of like a
We should get that back. New quest.
Yeah.
Get that back.
Go back to Faerun.
Sorry, I was just like, there was something important about it, and then I don't remember what happened. So I was like, let's see
So where do
if
we
that
want to
could
go?
help.
I think the general consensus is the Hellrider Crypt. Is anybody opposed
Is
to
the
that?
next stop?
Let's do it.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, and then we can decide if we swing wide to the Cybrex or just head south.
Anyone want to take bets on whether they're undead or if they're just dogs?
I think it's gonna
was
be
thinking
something
that.
more horrible than the dogs, but I'd bet more along that lines than undead. But that's my money.
The part where it's like Zerial's servants cannot rest. That makes me think undead.
Yeah, no, you're not
Yeah.
wrong.
Revenants.
Especially with it being a crypt. Who knows? That's the spot,
We will
I think.
find out.
So we'll drive south for a couple hours and try and get a long rest in.
Boom, boom,
A couple hours?
Well, no, like we'll drive down, stop,
Okay.
get a long rest in. And
Yeah, because
then-
I think you traveled for like 3 hours to get to the demon zapper.
Yeah, we have 69
After a long
hours
rest, so I think you're probably midday by this point.
yeah, so we'd travel a few more hours, maybe get within sight of it, but not all the way to it,
Yeah. Okay.
and then try and take a long rest because I don't want
Okay.
to roll in there as I am right
We
now.
have 7 soul coins now.
I think.
I've written down 4.
We gained 4. What did we already
Yeah, I
have?
think
We had 3.
We had 3.
had
We just
three,
popped one
you popped
in.
one in.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we're at
2,
6.
6.
And
Yeah.
each soul coin gets us how much time?
3 days.
3 days.
36 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Or wait,
That was 72 hours.
72 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
3
right.
days.
Okay. Cool.
3 work days.
So we're doing all right. Soul coin wise.
Okay. So you guys head southwardly across the Avernian landscape. There's some hilly terrain that you kind of have to wind through, but it begins to open up, and it's basically just flat surface. There's just nothing. Just arid, wind is blowing randomly. Again, just the dusk kind of time of day, like reddish orange clouds above you. This just kind of oppressive desert environment. You guys travel south for 3 or 4 hours. Still nothing.
Neat. You think control weather would work down here?
No.
I mean, not like I'll ever be able to actually cast it, but
Making it rain. Imagine making it rain in hell.
Oh yeah.
Snow.
Or
snow in hell.
Yeah.
Probably just like rain blood.
Yeah.
Or snow like the ashes of babies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
how much further do we want to go before we try and rest?
Let's try here. If there's nothing around us.
We've gone 4 hours.
Is there anywhere like a rock, like a big ridge or rock or something we can
Outcropping.
kind of park behind, maybe get a little cover,
Um,
so we're not obvious
A
from
devil's tower.
yeah.
miles away.
Yeah, there's a strange tower. No, nothing. As far as
Okay.
you can tell, like way back behind you is kind of the hilly landscape
Yeah.
you've left behind, but it's just barren at this point.
Alright.
There's nothing on the horizon at all.
We just pull over randomly, take a rest, keep watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a pee stop in Kansas.
Can I?
Do you want to
exactly.
pop the bubble?
Exactly.
Can I do the hut in the demon grinder?
What's the radius of the hut? I can't remember.
It's like 20 feet or 10, 20 foot diameter.
No, it's pretty small.
10-foot
I
radius.
also-
It's cozy in
So
there.
it's
yeah.
20
foot
foot
diameter.
Yeah,
Back
so
to the
the
English system.
top of the demon grinder, I think, is like 10 by 15, so it wouldn't fit exactly. I think you have to have a space for it to fit. So I don't think you could stay in the demon grinder and cast the.
I mean,
We'll ask the robot to stay in the boat,
Okay.
and then we'll.
Yeah. 5 and 6
Could we
will
go,
stay.
how tall is the demon grinder?
It's probably 20 feet tall.
Holy moly.
Like it's
big
massive.
That's a fucking
How
building,
much
man.
underneath?
I need a short rest after
Um,
climbing up in it.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe we could go
You-
under the demon
Yeah.
grinder.
So
When we
it's
hit level
10.
9, I
Your
can
dome is
walk
10
up the
foot
side.
tall. I think the bottom. I think I had said the bottom of the demon grinder is probably 6 feet tall.
so we could dig down a
says-
little bit.
Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast it, can move through it freely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the only one who can't.
Yeah, but
Right, but I'm saying, like, if the
Right.
demon grinder is an object and it's in the dome when you cast it.
well,
But
okay.
the demon garment's
Cool.
too big. Like it won't. It
It
doesn't
wouldn't-
fit in the dome.
Yeah.
Like whatever part.
Yeah, I
is
guess it
in
depends
the
if you're
dome.
saying like the object must wholly exist within the
Right.
dome.
Like,
versus
I thought-
just a
I thought I
part of the
remember-
object in the dome.
Like I thought I remember it said it needed an open space. Like the dome when you cast it cannot be impeded by
I
anything.
mean, it doesn't specifically say
There's
that.
nothing like that in there.
10-foot
I mean, if you want to
radius,
rule it that way, that's
level
totally
four.
cool.
It may not
Yeah,
say,
I mean-
but that's
Okay.
how
I mean,
you
most
could definitely
spells
rule
in
it that
these things
way.
Were.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How far is your movement?
I don't think it's unreasonable
Yeah.
for us to have to do it outside.
You have to cast it 60 feet away from
Well, I mean-
the demon grinder.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I
the
mean,
rules
we could-
specifically say demon grinders cannot. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
No.
we could do it like right by a wheel, and because it like you can make it opaque, so it could just
Yeah.
look like a fucking rock that we
Yeah.
park next to.
Is there?
Is the
I
demon
forget.
grinder
Some kind of security for the demon grinder. Like, is it
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think
artificer magic, kind of.
Yeah, I would say
Well,
artificial.
it does say that magical
It just says it's a
spells and
vehicle.
magical effects cannot extend through the dome.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like a spell.
It has magical weapons.
Yeah, we basically had specified that you can't steal other people's war machines, and
Unless
they
we
can't
really,
steal
really try.
yours unless you like
Okay,
blatantly like leave it. You know, like, oh hey, there's all these like horrible people standing around. I'm just gonna walk away. You know, like I'm not gonna take it from you like that way. So
At the same time, we can't steal any
Yeah.
other vehicles like a
I
dope
can make
ass
the dome
motorcycle.
any color too.
Like,
guess
I might-
a hazy red.
like motorcycles, I think
Yellow
are fair
or
game, just because they're small.
Yeah, I mean, you
but,
can make it look like the landscape.
You can't like go around with like 3 demon grinders and 2 tormentors or
We
whatever.
can't have our own like
Yeah.
fucking armada.
Yeah, exactly.
Heck yeah. When do we get
All
the
right, so you're gonna cast the hut, and we're gonna try and rest.
Yeah, sure.
Well, oh yeah, I'm gonna cast it. Let's just do it outside. This seems complicated.
before he casts the hut?
Colorado's up 1 at the end of the first period.
Oh.
I want to go ahead and send the sending message to Sin
Okay.
and just be like,
Are rough.
Mordenkainen, thoughts? Question mark.
Oh, okay. He'll say,
Shots on goal.
he'll say, "Ah, thought you might have been dead. Mordenkainen, you haven't dealt with him, have you? He's a gigantic asshole."
I'll spend my last 3rd level to be like, what does Worf think of him? And I specifically won't send it to Worf. I'll send it to Sin.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
And you hear,
Well, like he's probably busy with real wizard stuff. I don't want to bug him.
Yeah.
I just want to know what you think he
yeah,
thinks.
you hear Sim say, "I don't know, Worf, are you there, Worf? Hold on just a second. I gotta find," and then the 25 words ends.
Okay.
It's a written message. You don't have to write the ums. You did it on purpose.
Isn't it? I thought it was spoken. Like I thought you.
No, it's just like written. It's like a telegram.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's cool if he like writes the ums in,
Yeah.
then I know he was doing.
I
it on
think he
purpose.
would. Yeah.
Alright, so as part of our long rest, or before we start our long rest, I cast a 3rd level Thunder Wave and a 2nd level Bless into my Ring of Spell Storing.
Okay. I was
Oh,
like,
dude, I was like, are you gonna do that whole?
you're just woof. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're totally right, Josh. The creature hears it in their mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was pretty sure. Because Critical Role is notorious for that. Like Jester
Yeah.
has that whole like bit about
Yeah.
wasting it. So that's what I was thought. I was like, maybe I'm wrong, and Critical Role was just doing
their own
doing
flavor.
their own thing.
Yeah, no,
That would
that's
be-
totally how I do the same exact thing when
Yeah.
my players do it.
While everyone's resting and I'm doing pretty good, I'm gonna write the Ballad of the Helterel Raiders.
Oh.
And that is gonna be my goal over this 8 hours.
Sweet. Okay. Can you do that and take a long rest? Is that
I mean, it would
Yeah,
be
I would
considered
consider that
light
light work.
light work? Yeah. Okay.
He's
Yeah,
just
because you'd be
sitting
sitting there like
and-
strumming.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you need to roll for it, or do you like?
I feel
what-
like I should roll.
Roll,
Okay,
yeah, let's like
okay.
roll performance.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
you can. Yeah. Well.
Roll
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah. Roll performance, and we'll go from there. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, it's like he's gonna write the whole thing in one night. You
Flash
know?
of
Just
genius.
tinker with it now. Tinker with it
Add
later.
4 to it.
Add 4. It's a 19.
Okay. You've got a good start. Like I think that it's solid. You feel like the ballad's just not done yet. Like your adventure isn't done. So you've got like the beginning of what has happened so far and what you've heard them doing.
How I was
like
captured, how I was saved.
yeah, and you're like recanting like what they've gone through so far and stuff like that. And so you've got a good base, but you definitely feel like there's much more to this ballad that needs to
You
be.
can't figure out the zombies versus vampires bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you write like yourself into a more heroic like lead in the events?
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Very
Maybe
Tyrion
you
Darrington.
weren't the one that was captured. It was somebody
Yeah.
else, and you swooped in and saved them. And
We were in general saving someone. I'm in
Yeah.
the words of the group.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah.
was there.
Yeah,
It's very like coincidentally leaving
Yeah.
out specific.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Awesome. I love it.
Right, the long rest.
Yep.
We
So
are successful.
Julian, in the like probably 4 hours after you've kind of dozed off, you get ascending. He said, "Clash. Sorry. Trying to. I had to wake Worf up about it. Yeah, he says, very wise, could be helpful, but very dangerous."
I am happy that I woke up for this.
Good luck. Glad you're alive.
I just reply my name like as loud as I can, like with the discordant, like.
Yeah. Wow. Nice.
So we successfully long rest.
You successfully long rest.
Huzzah! I wasn't
In the
gonna-
morning, I go ahead and like tell everybody what they said about Mordenkainen. Sim thinks he's a dick. Worf thinks could be helpful,
But very dangerous, yeah.
probably not to be
I
trusted.
thought Mordecainan was like a chain of hotels.
Yeah. The Mordenkainen
Nice,
Spawn Resort.
nice houses.
Where did Trump have his thing? The Morden,
Mar-a-Lago.
Mordenkainen's Pipeworks and
I don't know. I never met a fellow named Morty I didn't like.
yeah, there you go. Did he have a friend named
You
Rick?
can let him call you Morty. Let you call him Morty.
Yeah.
I will when we see him. Hey, Morty.
We'll see how it goes.
So you wake up in the morning and you can continue again.
Yeah.
Okay.
PHPs are gone.
Yeah. So you get up and you begin to travel, and almost immediately you see something off in the horizon to the south. Like it's kind of hard to make out from this distance, but as you progress forward, it looks almost like this like haze, and it's in this like large like dome shape. And as you progress, it kind of looms larger, and it's this like this smog, like this heavy, like thick cloud that's kind of in this like dome shape. Just like as you approach it, it kind of looks like a wall of.
Does it look like it's churning or like it's drifting?
Like at first you can't really tell out a lot of the details, but as you approach, you can definitely see it's kind of swirling, like not like violently, but there's definitely movement to it. There's this like strange like swirl, like, and it's not like wind is blowing it in one direction. It like goes this way and then kind of scoots back quickly and then kind of turns and then does like a loop and then just kind of hangs there for a minute and then kind of like spreads out and then comes back, but it's always like in movement.
Do the movements seem like unnatural?
Definitely, it's definitely not like a wind is moving it or anything like that. And it's strange too, like, you know, it's like if you've seen like a fog bank approach and it kind of rolls through, you know, and this is all like stationary, like it never comes out of this like strange like dome shape.
Is it like very solid like boundaries, like a dome?
Not solid, but like you can see like the swirls of like clouds coming out, but it does hold like a uniform shape. As you get closer, you can see that like there's pieces that kind of swirl out and then come back in and stuff. So it's not like a line of dome.
How far are we from it?
However close you want to be at
want
this
to
point.
park like right outside of it and have one of us walk in just to see if anything happens?
I'll do it.
I'll just throw a knife at it. Throw a dagger.
I mean,
happens.
It might not do anything to a dagger, but it might do something that somebody that breeds it.
Well, I'd like to see if anything can go in at all, so I'd chuck a dagger.
Coin has a mask on.
Yeah, there you go. So you chuck a dagger. Yeah, so you chuck like there's no resistance at all. The cloud kind of swirls away and then, you know, kind of loops back around and then goes back to its like, you know.
Does it
But doesn't
seem
like react?
chaotic or random? Or does it seem like it's moving with purpose?
It doesn't seem to be moving with purpose. Like it seems like really random. Like
is it magical?
Give me an Arcana check. Or do you have like detect magic or anything like that?
Yeah. Okay. That's gonna be 23.
Okay. Yeah, there's some sort of like I would say there's some sort of magical, like it feels like something is generating it artificially, like some kind of magical essence or something, but it doesn't feel like completely magical to you. It almost feels more like I would say like more cursed or religious, you know, like I don't know how to
like a consecrated ground or desecrated ground or.
Yeah, I think more along those lines, but there's some magical nature to it.
I would know it's magical, but it's not. It's not from the ether.
Yeah, it's not some like spell that was cast on this area that's creating this. It's like some there's some magic imbued in it, but it's not like a spell.
Like
I would like have a little. I would like tweak a little eyepiece on my mask, and I would look at it, and I would tell everybody immediately, "It's magical, but it didn't look right."
Okay.
Stick my head in.
Okay.
My breed.
Hang on. Before
right,
we go through, I wanted to do like, I don't know, what if it charms you? So I could perform
As a
counter charm.
as a storm sorcerer / tempest cleric.
Okay.
What do I think about it?
Yeah, it's definitely not natural. Like it's definitely like something that is you've never seen anything like it. Like it's more dense than a cloud, and it's
like
more,
how big is it?
It's huge, probably
Like it covers
half a mile.
Okay,
wide.
that's what I was.
Yeah, like it's really large.
Okay.
And what were you saying, Julian?
Oh, I was saying, well, like, I don't know. Like, Kevin just wants to stick his head in. He can totally do that.
Yep.
But if we're all going to go through, I wanted to, like, perform, like, a drinking song and mechanically use the counter charm action,
Okay.
which gives people, I think, advantage against being frightened.
How many people can you cast it on?
It's anyone within 30 feet that can hear me gains
Okay.
advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
Okay, yeah. Describe how you do that.
Yeah, sure. So I just remember my rowdiest drinking song. It's time spent in bars. I've definitely heard quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And just strike it up. I don't tell anybody what I'm doing. They're just like, we're not drinking right now. Is he broken?
Do you have to be able to hear the song, the counter chime? Okay, so you do not get this effect.
I do not.
Raijin,
That's correct.
That sucks.
Yeah, you can see Clash
Rocking out.
strumming away, and everyone's and they're feeling bolstered by it, and nothing, just nothing.
Yeah.
I walk in.
Okay,
So
so
it's a drinking song. Can I play my drum?
you see Q step through the cloud, and the fog kind of swirls around him, and you can see his outline. How far in do you go?
I just walk in.
Okay,
And I
so
just
yeah, you
stand
can.
there. I breathe.
Yeah, you
see
see
it.
You see it kind of swirl behind him as he takes a step in. You're standing there, and you take a deep breath, and it's like, it's not like.
Smells like new car.
Yeah, it smells like roses and chrysanthemums. It feels heavy, like it feels like you're like it's slightly acidic maybe, but there's no effect. It just feels like oppressive, like it's like it's hard to describe.
Breathing in doom.
Yeah, like breathing in like diesel smoke or something. Like it just feels like it doesn't have that smell where you immediately start coughing or anything, but it's kind of got that like there's a substance to it. Like it's just like a weird feeling when you step in, but there's no adverse effects that you can tell right away. Like there's nothing attacks you. Like you guys see the clouds kind of swirl around behind him, and then they kind of just continue their random pattern.
I would like to insight check the mist.
Well, it ain't pleasant, but it don't seem dangerous.
Uh-oh.
Take the demon grinder in?
I think we should drive around it, personally.
I think I say we keep going. I'd say we leave the car here with the robot, and the rest of us walk in, see what's going on.
Josh said specifically if you abandon the car.
No.
We leave the robot with the car,
Yeah.
and
Five's
the
with
rest
the
of
car.
us,
Yeah, 5 and 6 can stay with the car.
and the rest of us walk in, see what's in the middle of this.
Like the main thing
Let's
is I
have a
don't.
unanimous vote right now to name the car 7.
We're on board. He can't.
The main reason I'm saying that we're not going to steal the car is I don't want you to feel like you have to work to defend the car when you go explore a location.
Gotcha.
Like I'm telling you as a GM, you can safely park the car without worry of it getting stolen.
Right,
while
we just come back and it's just gone.
Yeah, while you might come back and see people, but I'll never just be like, I walk back to the car and it's gone. Yeah, and
Dude,
there's
where's my car?
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah,
Can I cast?
that's fine.
Are we walking in this? Is that what we're doing?
Hell yeah.
I am against that.
I'm
So
for it.
do you step out again or?
Can you see?
Sure.
Can he see? It's just dirt. Fog.
Yeah, you can probably see maybe 7 or 8 feet, and then it's kind of heavily obscured after that. Then you step back out.
Yes.
Yep. No problem.
Okay.
Travel assistant.
You're asking us suspiciously,
I know.
the way DMs like to do.
See what I got for
I think we should leave this be, drive around, and continue upon our way.
What are we going again?
I gotta admit, I'm
The
mighty
Crypt of the
curious
Outlanders.
what is causing this.
How do we know that's not where we're supposed to go?
Yeah.
Yep. I point at him.
I mean, we don't.
Look, we
We don't
can't
know if
just
it's
let
around it
this
either.
be, man. We gotta check this out.
What's her name? Ruby Red or
Red Ruth.
Red Rue? Would you describe these dusts or the visual phenomena as reddish?
No, it's more
Brown.
like brownish green. There's maybe a green tinge to it.
No, see, green is bad. In the real world, in the real world, green is fine. It's
That's racist.
grass and trees and whatever. We're in hell. Nothing here is green. Green is bad.
You're gonna stay here for saying that.
It's weird that I feel
Coming
like that
from
actually
the
makes
red
sense.
dragon guy.
Uh,
Talking shit about green.
bronze, thank you.
Isn't bronze just like greenish gold?
Isn't bronze the weakest of the good dragons?
No, I
You
think
say
it's
the
brass.
least good
Oh yeah,
of the good dragons?
the metallics.
It's like brass and then bronze.
So we're going in, right? Cast a vote. Who agrees we should go in? This
I
guy.
think
You're with me, right?
it's worth investigating.
There we
Sure, we'll go in. I cast enhance ability with Bear's endurance.
Come on, Raijin,
Myself.
quit being scared. You
What
can't
does that
hear,
give
you
you?
can't see.
It gives you advantage on Constitution checks, and you get 2d6 temp hit points
Nice.
for an hour.
I cast protection from evil and good on myself.
Okay.
I feel like a Constitution check is coming in my future, so not risk.
And I'm very angry that I'm spending a spell slot on that, but I don't trust this
I
shit.
am not casting that right now. Yeah.
What does it do again? Just real.
Protection of evil and good. I'm protected against certain types of creatures, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Creatures of that type have disadvantage to attack me.
Okay.
I also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Okay. Okay.
You're almost like a paladin.
How long does that last?
10 minutes.
Bad.
All right, let's walk fast.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'll
11
switch the
minutes
song
later.
to a sailor song.
a sailor song. Okay.
Yeah, like a sea shanty.
Cool.
Like, I'm only gonna cast it the one time, but I'm just.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and you're leaving the demon grinder outside the mist. You're not
Yes.
driving it through. Okay.
5, you're on baby duty.
Yeah. So like the camera shows you guys kind of walking into the mist, and it's kind of a view from 5 looking down from the demon grinder, and it almost like envelops you, and you immediately kind of disappear into the fog. Yeah, it's not like windy at all. Like there's not like outside of this area, like the wind was blowing across Avernus. Here, there's almost like an eerie silence. Like there's no, like the
I don't
fog.
notice
Yeah, exactly. You feel it though. Like I think even inside, like
Yeah.
without hearing anything, you feel like this like this deathly
Unnatural, just-
unnatural silence. Like when you're in like a heavy like snowfall, when it's not blizzarding, but it's just heavy, where everything is kind of muffled.
Can we
Like-
leave some kind of marker to mark our path back to the car?
That's a good question.
I will take my my mace and just drag it
Okay.
and see if and I'll try and like watch and see if I make a path.
Yeah,
or
for
if,
sure.
like after a while it disappears or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely
Oh.
you lose sight of it because of the fog, but it does leave like a
Trail.
trail in the ground.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
Josh.
you're good.
I'm
I
sorry,
hear-
was somebody else going?
What was that, Julian?
I was gonna say, I have with keen mind. It says I always know.
North.
What does it say? Yeah, north.
Oh,
which way is
okay.
north.
Okay.
So do I feel like disoriented when we come inside, or I still feel like I know the demon grinder's behind us? I know like
yeah.
this way is north.
Like your keen mind it felt like it. Like I think by this time, after a few days, you've kind of adjusted to it. But when you first arrived, I think I described it when you first arrived in Avernus, that your keen mind felt weird. Like north should be this way, like in your mind, but your keen mind said it's this way. Like it felt skewed in some way. It didn't feel exact to you.
Gotcha.
But after a few days, you've kind of been able to adapt to it enough where you feel like the general direction. Like if you were headed through the mist, you kind of feel, okay, the demon grinder is still this way, or we veered to the left a little bit, so now it's off this way just a little bit. So yeah, I think you can still, with that keen mind, get the feeling, and you don't feel any more or less disoriented by entering into this fog than you did just in Avernus in general.
Your camera's frozen.
It came back now.
Yeah, my recording camera died though.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to say like I know the exact heading
Yeah.
of the demon grinder, but just like, okay, yeah, I know like it was generally this way when we came in.
And I hear nothing, I see nothing in front.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's a half mile. I mean, there's gonna be a point where did we get the general size?
Yeah, so I think like as you're approaching the general size of this big like dome of fog was about half a mile. So you figure a mile diameter.
Neat.
Okay. So you continue along. Like it's a weird feeling because it's eerily quiet, but there's still the swirling, like the random chaotic swirling of this fog around you. So it kind of gives you like this weird, almost a vertigo feel.
I assume we're trying to go towards the center of it.
Yeah, generally
as best as we can.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and with your keen mind, I think you can kind of navigate where, in general terms, you're heading towards the middle.
Yeah, like just the same direction we came in.
Yeah, yeah. So you travel for probably 5 or 6 minutes. You know, it kind of feels like this is never ending. Like just got to get this feeling that you're going to be lost forever in here and that you're never getting out. Like that all of you kind of feel that feeling of like hopelessness of we've messed up. Like we're never going to get out of here. There's no way out. And as you continue to walk, who has what's all everybody's passive perception?
Oh, mine's so good.
Jeez.
17.
So good.
Bad.
How do you count passive perception?
It's
10 plus perception.
10 plus your perception skill.
That. Same.
13.
okay.
11.
What was yours? 11.
Yeah.
Yours is 11 too, Julian.
Yep.
Okay, so I think Q notices it first. There's this outline of like a hill that kind of starts to, you can see just barely the outline, like maybe the horizon's just a little bit brighter than the ground, and you can kind of see ahead of you like a small like mound, and there's something jutting up from the middle of it, and you can kind of just barely see it.
Something up ahead.
Yeah. Continue
I'll
on.
switch to like a battle song,
Okay.
like recounting like a historical battle.
Cool. Okay.
I say, what do your fellow halfling I see?
I want to. I'll speed up a little bit,
Okay.
get ahead of the group by
Okay.
like 10, 15 feet.
Okay, so I think you're the first one to kind of see it appear in front of you. There's this this barren hill. There's these like it looks like a burial mound. Like that's immediately the feeling you get when you see it. You're like, oh, this is a burial mound. Jutting out from the top are these gigantic like monoliths. They're lean to the side. They're kind of at strange angles. There's probably 3 or 4 of them, and they're huge. And they look like big tombstones almost. And you, as you're getting a little bit closer, you can make out small like figures, kind of randomly spread out, kind of around the edges of this big like burial mound.
Figures like people,
They're humanoid size.
humanoid size.
Yeah.
I want to get a closer look at those. I want to.
Do we recognize like the tomb style at all from being in the tomb in El Terrell
No.
or
no,
that graveyard?
No, it's different for sure.
Gotcha.
I was like, I think there might be some people up ahead. Wait here, and I want to sneak up.
Okay,
So
yeah,
they
give
don't
me
notice me.
a stealth check.
Kevin, make sure you find out if they're actually humanoids.
Yeah, Julian really wants to know.
It's the worst roll I
two.
could have rolled. That's a 9.
Okay. Like you almost feel enthralled by this location. Like you begin to sneak up, but you get this feeling like you shouldn't be. Like you like that this is like some kind of holy ground almost. Like there's some like like there's just this feeling of like being in a church, almost, but different. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's kind of like that quietness of like you feel like you're doing wrong by sneaking. So you're sneaking, but you're not really like feel like you're sneaking that much. And as you begin to approach these humanoid figures that are kind of arrayed around this hill, they all seem to be, they have their backs to you. There's like these they're wearing these like cloaks that are kind of bellowing, and which is weird because there's no wind. And they're bellowing, and they seem to be, they have their backs to you, and they're kneeling, head down, kneeling. So you can kind of just see the cloak, maybe like the top, like the dome of the head a little bit, and then the cloak kind of billowing.
So they're not hooded. It's just
you can't really tell because I think they're bent so low that you can kind of just see their backs.
Has it been 10 minutes yet?
No, I think probably 7 or 8 at this point. So you got a couple minutes left.
I want to get a closer look at one of these fellas.
Okay. So how close do you want to get?
I'm pretty much.
Can we still
walking up
see
to the
Kevin
guy.
clearly?
Yeah. So you can see the berm. You can see kind of like the array of figures, and you can see him kind of like he starts by crouching and going slowly, but then he kind of stands up and almost just kind of casually walks up to these guys.
Yeah, I don't like that. When I see him like just start like stand up and start walking, I pick up the pace of it.
Okay, so you everyone else begins to approach. So you're still a little bit ahead. So you reach the figure first, and as you kind of walk around, you see like it looks like an armored knight. So they've got like this armored helm on, covered face. Their heads are bowed to the ground. All of them have some kind of weapon that's placed on the ground, and they're kneeling on one knee, kind of down to the ground like this, and they're not moving.
Not realizing how unsneaky I am. I want to walk right up to one of them.
Okay.
And I wanna lift the helmet.
Okay.
And see the face.
So you walk around it, and it doesn't move. It seems unnaturally still, other than the billowing cloak kind of behind it. And you can tell that the cloak is ragged, like it's kind of falling apart. It seems really old. The armor itself has like dust accumulated on all of the cracks, and seems to have some like small pieces of rust kind of built around the edges. And as you reach forward, and you pull on the helm, and it's lodged. Like you hear that, like something that's been crusted together, and it doesn't give. And the knight does not respond. It doesn't like jump up and attack you or anything.
At this point, are we close enough to see him trying to do
Yeah.
this?
So at this point, you're walking up as he's kind of pulling on the.
Don't just leave it. Like, are they circled around something, or are they?
Yeah,
all...
they're haphazard, so it's not like a line of figures.
Right.
They're kind of dotted, but generally they kind of create this like circle around this.
Can we
mound.
tell what they're encircling?
Yeah, so the mound, like in front of them, they're kind of encircling it, and you look at the mound and you see like this dark like entrance leading below ground. They all kind of seem to be like in a semicircle, like looking at that.
Do I recognize the armor? Does it remind me of the Hell Riders we met in El Toro?
Yeah, so Raijin, as he walks up, definitely recognizes that this is the Hell Rider regalia for sure.
These folks
Kevin?
seem pretty restful.
Do you want to try
leave them
messaging
be.
him?
I want to once I recognize like the armor and stuff, I want to make my way around and see if I can like find or notice like a commander or something, or if they're all just your basic foot soldier. Whatever.
Yeah, so you follow the random assortment of these knights, and they're all they don't completely encircle the mound. It's kind of like half of the mound, the half with the doorway that leads underground has these circled, but the back of the mound does not. And you see like looming above you are these like monolith tombstones
Do they have any words on them or anything?
Give me a perception check.
Hey Kevin, if you really want to open the visor,
Nat 20.
I could cast knock on
Is
it.
that your first roll on that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yep.
First roll of the new die. So you don't see, you see definitely symbols of El Terrell. When you were there, you recognize the Hell Riders kind of sigils and stuff. Like kind of, some of them are more adorned than others. There's not like, and you don't notice any like leaders as you're looking around. There's no like commander. They all seem to about the same status. But as you're looking, you kind of catch the light just right, and you can see inside of one of the visors is just a skull. Underneath the visor is just a skull, a humanoid skull, sitting there.
We're wasting our time. Let's head inside.
So they just surround the half with the kind of entrance that leads down under this burial mound.
On the side that there isn't anyone, you don't see anything.
Yeah,
either.
just the continuation of the burial mound, but there's nothing that pops out.
You're still over there, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to say any sort of words or something?
I'll gather us all kind of before like the entrance, and I'll say kind of like a little bit of a prayer, and then like I'll end it with like a like an old Hell Rider kind of like just like prepare us for what's coming and yada yada yada.
Like kind of like the battle mantra that the Hell Riders say. Okay, cool.
I immediately start like rhyming that. Like,
Yeah, thinking about how you can get it into the song. Oh yeah.
And I'll just be like, let me take the lead on this.
Okay.
And I'll
Yeah, so you approach the mound, and again you have the same feeling Q does of this like church silence, like this feeling that like when you guys are talking and you're doing your mantra and stuff, you feel like you don't want to yell, like you don't want to like get like excited or anything, like you feel like you
I definitely keep it very somber. Very.
Is it more like comforting or anxious?
It's both. Like it's like
That's
calm before the storm.
it's like that.
Kind of thing.
It's like that church feeling.
Yeah.
And everyone has a different experience of church. Mine's a good experience, so like that's a piece for me. But so that's probably not a good description. But there's that intermingling of
it's a little bit
danger
like an intimidation.
too. Yeah, like there's like that church holy like grave site kind of feel, but there's also like this weird like foreboding as well. Like if you really dig in and start like thinking about it, there's this strange like sensation of like
feeling of like being watched or judged a little bit.
I wouldn't not watch, but maybe like this feeling of guilt. Like this which could be associated with church as well, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, guilt is the word I would
that's a
use.
very-
I was trying
that's
to
a
find
very
something
Catholic-
less
Yeah, I was gonna
specific.
say,
Yeah.
very
12 years
I was
Catholic
raised
school.
Catholic.
Yeah.
So
I was
guilt
not.
is definitely
I was
what
not
thinking,
raised
but-
Catholic, so yeah.
Yeah.
Very familiar with
Yeah.
Catholic guilt.
Yeah. But I'm familiar with it from.
Yeah. So I'll put my mace away. I will have my shield out,
Okay.
and I'll cast a light on the front of it.
Okay. So
and just slowly.
yeah. So you approach
Your way
this mound, and there's this carved opening, and you see this onyx stone kind of lining the wall, and these onyx steps that kind of lead down under the ground.
Yeah, and like as we like right before as I hit like that first step, I'll just be like, "Oh, grandfather, protect me here."
Okay. And then continue.
Yep.
Okay, so probably 20 steps down, and it kind of it feels almost like walking into a mouth. And you finally reach the bottom with the light kind of illuminates this gigantic door, and there's a mural on the front, and it's Zariel, a sword held high. This picture of the knights of the Hell Riders kind of behind her, like in this like pre-war like battle
Charge,
yell. And as you see that, the mural comes alive, and you see you see Zariel, and she's doing that battle mantra that you kind of spoke about, and so you see kind of at her back, which is what the picture looks like, and as it pans around, so you're in between the Hell Riders and Zariel, and the camera kind of pans around, and you can kind of see behind her is this gigantic circular portal, and you're in this town that's burning, and in this portal is the plains of Avernus, and you can see armies of demons kind of assembling behind, and she's like, you know, doing her mantra, and she says, "For glory, for glory, for glory," and she turns around and rushes through the portal, and all the Hell Riders yell and kind of rush forward, and then you're back in front of this door.
Oh, this could be a very cursed place. I want to inspect the door.
Okay. You walk up, there's no door handles, there's a seam in the middle, so you can definitely tell it's a doorway. Like, it's this gigantic 15-foot tall, arched, probably 10-foot wide door with this beautiful, intricately carved mural. There's a seam in the middle, but there's no door handles or push buttons that you can see, no levers on the side, just kind of this mural.
I'll just kind of, I'll walk up, I'll place my hand on it,
Okay.
and I'll say, "For glory."
Yeah, immediately. The doors slide open, and you see what before you obviously a crypt.
I'm upset. My 40k character would be like, "Who do you think Glory is?"
For Gloria.
I want to ask, could he hear during the mural presentation?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a vision that you have. Like, you're familiar with it now. That it's a vision that your father had. Like,
Did just he?
Yeah.
saw
Oh, yeah.
that?
Nobody else. Like,
Okay.
you just saw Raijin walk down, and he's staring at this door for a second, and then he walks forward and puts his hand, and he says, "For glory," and it kind of opens.
Okay.
So
That's
nobody else saw it. Yeah.
This guy's
That's an
kinda
awesome
weird.
scene.
This guy's kinda-
Alright.
Yeah, I'll like hold my shield a little higher to try and get a little more light.
Yeah, so you
in
can
the
see
room.
that the passage kind of continues. It flattens out and continues, and there's like a T junction. So you can see like these intricately carved walls that have continued murals of like battle scenes that you immediately recognize from the history of Elturel. Like, before Zariel, like you can make out like, oh, that was the battle where Zariel defeated X, and she assembled the Hell Riders and charged into the city and defeated Y, or like just the beginnings of those murals. But they're immediately recognizable to you.
Oh yeah,
from the
I'm
past.
like reliving my childhood.
Yeah.
And you said it comes to like a T
Yeah.
junction.
T. Yep.
I go left.
Okay.
I
And
go
you guys. I go straight. And everyone else is kind of following.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do anything? Okay, so
I obviously don't know anything on these walls.
yeah, like you see these beautifully carved murals of these battle scenes, and the common the thing about these murals that you notice is this angelic being always holding this like gleaming sword. Its wings are always like splayed out in some very heroic pose. You see it like slashing through like huge, gigantic, dangerous foes. You can definitely see what it's portraying. This heroic figure followed by her knights. You can definitely tell just by, even though you don't really know anything about it, you can definitely tell the what it's trying to portray for sure. Even though you don't know like, well, that's Zariel and that's the Hell Riders and this was this battle or anything. You can definitely, all of you kind of get the feeling of what this is. So
Yeah, like anybody that's paying attention to me at all can tell I'm very on edge.
yeah,
Coin's eyes are glued to you.
Would I even know who Zariel was?
I think at this point, have you guys?
Was the team very aware of him? Am I felt her?
Yeah, so- Like,
We would
have
have
you
probably
guys-
talked about it a little
Yeah,
bit.
about why we came down here and what's going on. And
Yeah.
Zariel's tied into Elturel, coming down the Hells. Angel led the Hell Riders, all that stuff.
Yeah, so I think
Epic Bardley
I don't think we
Yeah,
were like
like
keeping
you
a
would
secret
know
from it.
just enough to not be like, what the fuck is anything, but it would still just be like, oh, I kind of maybe get some of this now.
Yeah.
Cool. Hell, am I right?
Yep. Hell, am I right? Yeah. So, so you continue down the hallway, and it opens up into this chamber, and it's a typical crypt. You know, like it opens up into this funerary chamber. There's these large iron burial urns, kind of positioned reverently throughout the hall. There's like behind these urns are these like lances and these swords and these pieces of armor that are definitely not functional, but they're decorative. With the kind of continue the mural of of the El Terrell battles and stuff, and they're kind of arranged along the walls, and the kind of the room kind of opens up to the right, and you see kind of two entrances to the, like if you came in from the west side and you turned right, so you're facing south, there's a doorway straight ahead of you, and the doorway that kind of leads at an angle off to the left.
Okay.
These urns, can I go check out these urns while he's making decisions?
Yeah, sure.
Do I know is there anything on them?
They're all made of brass. They're kind of like the vase style urns, like the smaller at the bottom, kind of pear shaped at the top, and then they come to, and then there's like a cap in them, and they're and they have
Don't do that.
and they have names inscribed in them on the sides.
Yeah, like if I see you like reaching for that, but like, don't touch anything. We do not want to awake anything here.
What are we trying
Oh,
to do?
when he says we don't want to awake anything,
Yeah, you
I'll just
immediately
whisper,
falls
"Rise and be counted."
Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
Waiting for that. Yeah.
As you say that, suddenly, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So as you enter this room, and you kind of turn and said, "Don't touch," and you kind of turn away from Cedric. You start to hear these like whispers, which is a welcome.
Yeah.
And you hear, "Hell Rider," like just like every once in a while. Like
Is it coming from any direction, or is it just
no,
around?
it's kind of just like omnipresent,
Okay.
like this kind of feeling, almost in your head, not quite telepathically,
Right.
but it kind of, there's no like discernible direction. And it's
Oh.
different voices. It's not like one voice saying
Right,
it. It's
it's
like
a multitude of
Hell
voices.
Rider. You know.
I'll ask him telepathically, are you all right? What's going on? Seem nervous.
This place is wrong. You said there's two doors. Is there any difference between the two?
They're
doors?
not doors. They're
Or-
hallways. They
passageways.
continue on.
Is there any is there any difference in the passageways? Like, is one bigger, one smaller?
They're about the same size. Give me a perception check.
Know if you need a trap check.
It's a 15 on the die. Perception is 18.
Okay. You feel like the left entrance, the left hallway, is maybe more. I would say like less murals are written on it. Like they're still murals, but they're more simplistic. Not simplistic, but they're less
Dense.
less dense. Yeah, not less detailed
Right.
or anything like that. But
There's just less of them.
yeah, there's less of them. Yeah.
Alright, I go left.
How many vases are there? Like, is it like light like all the walls? Or
Yeah, there's probably I would say 15 or so in that room.
Gotcha.
And they're made
So
out
they're
of
like,
brass.
Yeah.
are they like in little like alcoves, like recessed in the thing? Or
No,
are
they're
there
kind
shelves
of
there?
there's like this stone like shelf that's kind of along the wall, and they're kind of reverently sat there. And then behind them, mounted on the wall, are these like like spears and these ornate swords, and above the swords are these like armor pieces that are kind of hanging on the wall. And there's no dust in these rooms. There's no like accumulation. There's no rust on any of the swords or the
everything's
armor.
pristine.
It's all very, very clean.
Does it look physically kept or magically kept?
I think without a roll, magically kept. Like you feel like it's like there's not a maid that could do this good of a job that you've ever seen. To keep something clean.
Yeah, I'm gonna go left.
Okay, so you continue left. You open into another room, and it's this kind of like strangely shaped room, kind of like a I can't think of the name of the shape, like a square that's been like squished on the side, so it's like
Like a trapezoid.
trapezoid. Yep, that's what I was looking for. Trapezoid shape, and there's no other exits, but kind of set out from the back wall, 3 or 4 feet, are these gigantic like stone slabs, and there's 3 of them, and they're probably 8 feet wide by probably 6 or 7 feet tall, and you see inscribed on each of these slabs names.
Are they vertical or are they laying?
Yeah, they're vertical. So
Okay.
think of like the Vietnam Memorial
Yeah,
Wall.
yeah.
Kind of like that. So you see just lists of names.
Okay.
There we go.
Coin's eyes kind of glued on Raijin, noticing that he's troubled. If he notices him, to start like losing focus or whatever, since he's kind of leading the gang in.
Okay.
He kind of walks up next to him and talks to him a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. What do you say?
Just like he just like maybe some little motivating words to refocus, keep his eyes ahead of him.
Okay.
Don't get in your head. I don't know. He can't hear me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
can relay anything.
Yeah.
If that helps.
Yeah. Like I'll tug on him and I'll tell you, and then
Yeah, I'm still a little bit like in the thing. I'll do message. Do you know where we are? Like, where are we heading?
Yeah, it's like
Okay, John.
I don't know. I feel like there's something we need here, but I don't know what or where. And I'll
Out of
just,
character. Well, I guess not necessarily out of character, but what were we sent here to do by Mad Maggie? Was she just
weren't.
like, hey, this place is relevant?
We
So
weren't
she
sent-
said
It's a side-
she sent you
side
with a
stuff.
grocery list, but she also said that that it would help if Raijin was able to recover any memories from his grandfather, so that like it would help build the bond when the machine is kicked off and the memories are attempted to be recovered.
Right.
It would help build that bond to recover them more easily.
So we're basically here so he can reconnect with his granddad.
yeah. Personal side quest.
Yeah.
I'll go up to just like the middle,
Okay.
list of names, and I'll like put my hand on it.
Okay.
And I'll be like, I'll just kind of like whisper to the wall. I'll be like, I'm sorry. We'll make sure that you didn't like die in vain.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
So it looks like the internet's here to stay.
What do you mean?
I'm just cutting the silence.
Oh, the internet's here to stay. I was like, we did have a huge outage last night. I thought maybe you were referring to that. Yeah, but
I don't know, man. The internet seems like kind of a fad to me.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna come and go.
Yeah,
It's gonna-
it's any day now. People
yeah,
just
we're gonna be
say,
moving
"Fuck it."
on. Yeah, for sure.
you get on Twitter, you'll end it real quick.
Or at least want to.
Yeah.
You hear a voice, like the like all of the voices that said Hellrider, like kind of all combined. So it's like a bunch of different voices together, and they say, "No rest, no rest, no rest." And Q, you hear behind you with your passive perception the sound of the door closing.
Nice.
Yeah, I immediately light up my fists with corrupted key energy and turn around and rush that fucking door.
Okay, so as you turn to rush the door,
Yeah.
this gigantic knight who moves completely silently kind of walks into the doorway into view, and he says, this other like deep voice. He says. And I think I deleted a bunch of my stuff when I set my book on there on my keyboard, but that's okay. He says,
You like Command Z or anything?
"Yeah, I've tried a couple times and it doesn't do it. I must have done something, but that's okay." He says, "Who profanes the crypt of the Hellriders, and what evil magic did you use to learn to gain access to this crypt?"
Do I hear it?
Yeah, you hear it. It's resonating, like it's this deep voice that kind of shatters you feel it in your chest.
Without even turning around, I'll just be like, I am Raijin of the Hellriders. I have every right to be here. Now stand down.
Okay. He says, he would say, I'm trying to think of like he would ask for proof, some proof that you're a Hellrider. So there's probably some like sigil or seal or
Right.
something that you carry with you. And he says, hold up your proof.
How far away am I from this guy?
There's probably, like, you guys are probably in the room. He's probably 10 feet away from you. Gigantic knight, like humanoid in shape, but
Bigger.
8 or 9 feet tall, like massive, wide, like the face is completely covered, and you notice that the armor is Elturel like, but it's been warped in some way, like it's been twisted.
I'm gonna hold.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna hold an attack if anything. If he does
Okay.
anything nefarious.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna hold my sword and.
Yeah.
So I'll slowly turn around, and you can anybody kind of sees there's like a little bit of like sparks coming out of my eyes,
Okay.
and I'm like pissed
Yeah.
right now. Again, I'm just like, I am Raijin of the Hellriders, grandson of Vohan, the right hand of Zariel. I have every right to be here. Now stand down.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So he says, I am Olanthus, Vohan's companion and friend.
Yep.
Why are you here? And as he says his name, you hear this. You hear this. Hold on just a second. Man, I lost all these notes. I'm so pissed.
That sucks.
Hold on just.
Hey, Regin, if he still needs more proof, we could kill you, and then when you turn into a dog.
That'll do it. You're right.
Also, you're a humanoid, right?
And you
It took me a second.
you flash back to that scene where they're in that tent and they're all together, and your grandfather says, he says, what say you? And you see Olanthus sitting there, and he's kind of his shoulders are slumped, and he says, Zariel has to have a plan. Like we should not give her up. Like she has to have tricked Asmodeus somehow. We should bring the sword to plead with her to turn from her ways or tell us her plan. We should not abandon her. We should not take the sword for our own. Yale, which is the female, and your grandfather say that it's not the right time. That she's too newly enamored with her new ruler, and if we give the sword back to her now, she will destroy it or turn it to evil. And you see Olanthus shake his head and exit the tent, and then you're back into the room again, and he's standing there, and he says, again, he kind of repeats himself. He's like, "Why are you here?"
I'll say, El Terrell has been brought here. We're trying to save it. We're questing for information, power, anything to save, the city you swore to protect.
Yeah, you see a slight shoulder slump, like this gigantic knight, and his you see his shoulders kind of sag a bit, and he says, I do not serve El Terrell any longer. I am sworn to serve Zariel. And as he says that, you get another flash, and you see Olanthus with Zariel, and she's speaking with all these devil generals, and she's got like this battle table kind of splayed out, and you see them arguing back and forth, and you hear Zariel say that you were bound by oath to follow me, and he says, even unto death, and he pulls his sword out and stabs himself and falls over.
Sick. That's sad.
And then you've kind of flash back again to him, and you see him alive,
right,
obviously, in some way,
right,
kind of standing there, and he says, I cannot help you.
Then stand aside.
He says, in honor of your father, I will, as long as you do not disturb this place.
We will respect this place as long as you stay out of our way.
Okay. He kind of nods, and kind of steps into the room and steps aside, and you see him pause strangely for a second, and he says, do you know what happened to Vohan?
He returned. He came back to El Terrell.
He points to the wall behind you, the right kind of slab.
Yeah, I'll kind of go over to it.
Okay, you see this list of names, and you see one that immediately pops out because there's a scar across the rock, and you see Vohan's name, and it's stricken from the list, and above it there's another name, or a place for a name, but it's been wiped clean, and then above it you see Olanthus, and you see Haruman above it, and then another list of names, but those are immediately what you see.
Is Yale's name on there?
It is not. It's not on there.
Is Jandar's name on there?
Jandar's name is on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Jandar's on there also.
Yeah. I've got notes.
Yeah, good.
Are these guys from like El Terrell right now?
Yeah, so those lists that I just listed off were Zariel's right hand. They're like the group of generals that Zariel always used to kind of lead their troops. So Vohan, Raijin's grandfather, was part of it. Jandar Sunstar was kind of a lower general, but was up and coming. There was some kind of it always speaks Jandar as kind of like this like sickly humanoid that was always trying to redeem something. Like there was always like the stories about him are always like him trying to redeem himself in some way. And then there's Haruman, which is a humanoid, Olanthus, which is an elf, it was a dwarf actually, and then a Yale who's a tiefling.
Wait, Olanthus is a dwarf?
Yep.
Yeah.
You said he's a giant knight.
Yep.
Yeah, huge, massive.
Yep.
He's like a 10-foot tall dwarf?
Yeah.
Or 8 feet tall,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
Yale's
gotta
name
say
isn't on there.
Master.
Yale's name is not
Ragnarok.
on
All
there.
right. I'll ask him about it. I'll be like, what of Yale?
You see him like shoulder slump even lower, and you kind of hear like an intake of breath, and he says, "I know not. Yale was on this slab, but has been stricken in some way. I know not what happened. Vohan and Yale ran with the sword."
Very well. Is there anything else you can tell us or give us about this place or about the fate of the original ride?
He says that he kind of recounts the tale that you're kind of familiar with, that they traveled into Avernus. They were pushing away the demon horde, but eventually they were kind of pushed too far forward and got kind of flanked. And then some of the Hell Riders began to pull back back into the portal, and then the portal closed, which allowed them to be completely surrounded. And all the Hell Riders, except for Zariel and the generals, were slaughtered. And he explains that they are now entombed here under Zariel's control, who still is the leader of the Hell Riders.
Right. For all eternity.
And he says that only Zariel can strike the names from this list.
So Zohan's name is crossed, or Vohan's name
Vohan's name is
is crossed out,
yeah,
Right.
but Yale's name is just
Gone.
missing.
Is gone.
Sort of like Vohan's memory has gone missing
Interesting. All right.
of the events.
Is Vohan your grandfather?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
He says, I cannot help you. I am bound to Zariel, but there are enemies of hers that might help. He says that there's a very powerful demon lord that has been trapped, and if you release him, he may aid you.
That ain't happening.
do you have a name or location that you'll give us?
He says,
Demon Lord. That's a metal band if I've ever heard one.
he says, Kostchtchie, Kostchtchie. And he says that it is a great demon lord that has been that Zariel has stripped of power and locked in a pit. She says it's east of Bell's Forge.
Okay.
So
Yep.
up here.
Over there.
Yep.
Very well.
You guys think they have any soul coins?
I'll say we will not disturb anything, but we wish to explore some more of this place. Will you stop us?
He says, you may pay your respects, but do not disturb anything.
Very well.
And he says, I will accompany you.
Very well.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, we'll go through and
look around. Yeah, so they're a lot of the rooms are very similar. Just to kind of sum up, there's more rooms with these urns. There's these rooms with these sarcophagus with a very fresh rose sitting on top of them, and they're kind of all of them are there's kind of an array of those things.
Is anybody having trouble seeing in here?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, the swirling mist that kind of hangs out outside does not exist at all.
Oh, I
in
just
here.
meant like dark.
I'd cast light on my shield when
Yeah,
we came in.
yeah, he cast light. Yep.
You know what? I'll take up the rear and I'll use the ghost lantern.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. She speaks with you, and she says, "This is an evil place. That there's much sadness here, and there's the feeling of being trapped. It feels wrong. They don't want to stay here. They want to be free."
Gosh, that really tugs at Coin's heartstrings.
Yeah.
He's
And
like, yeah, I know. I think Raijin's got it under control.
yeah. Okay. And as you're exploring these tombs, you hear that again, that Hell Rider, and you every once in a while you'll just hear a free us, trapped, and every once in a while you swear that free us is turned a little bit, and it almost says, like, maybe you're just thinking of it wrong or you didn't hear correctly, but you swear you hear lead us. But it's always kind of intermingled, and it's just barely at the edge of your hearing, and it's kind of intermingled with this Hell Rider and trapped. And yeah, there's nothing of significance in all of the rooms. It's kind of the same thing.
Okay. So I assume we kind of just go through the whole place.
Yeah.
There's nothing else like major of note.
No, nothing.
I'll lead us back to
Cedric.
No, I was making
Oh yeah.
While we go through, I want to look for a jar for not Vogel, but the other guy.
Vohan.
Yeah, not Vohan. The other guy who had his name like scratched out.
Yale.
Yeah, Yale.
Yeah, there's none. There's no. You don't see any of Vohan, of Alanthus, of Haruman, of Jandar, or Yale. There's no urns. There's no caskets. They're only there's a place on the wall for them except for Yale.
Okay.
As we make our way through, I kind of want to just look for any secret doorways that might exist.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception.
So are you just like
I'm
a
gonna do
really tall
investigation.
dwarf, or were you small and then got big? Can I even talk to this guy? Did I hear him talking?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
definitely talking. You can hear all of it. When he's talking, you can hear his conversation for sure. Sure.
Is that rude?
So
Is that a rude question?
He says
You can't just ask people why they're tall.
are you you can say that. Tall people, it's okay to say why are you so tall, but you can't say that to short people. Why are you so short? It's offensive.
I was
if you
trying to
say it
make a
short
Mean
people.
Girls reference.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. I was saying that sounds really familiar.
17, Josh.
Yeah. 17.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, like, as the Alanthus and Raijin are speaking in that room with the stone slabs,
The monolith, yeah.
you do see, like, maybe the faint outline of what could be a secret entrance off to the side over there, but yeah, like it's definitely closed off, and Olanthus is definitely watching.
Right. He's watching me as I'm
Well,
kind of looking around.
like in the room, he's kind of like keeping an eye on everyone
Like
as he's
a cop.
talking to Raijin, and then as
Can I
you
try
know,
and distract him?
as
My
Raijin is kind of speaking, like he's surveying the room. He's definitely like not casually just having a conversation. He's
Right.
ready for action, looking around, keeping his wits about him, ready for an attack or anything to happen. But
Can I speak telepathically to you at will, or is it
Nah,
only
it's
if you
one
initiate
way.
it?
Do I, with my
I can
high
do
passive
it.
perception, do I notice him noticing?
give me a perception check, because this guy's imposing, and it's kind of hard to look away from him. Honestly.
25.
Okay. Yeah. So I think you glance and you see Coin kind of like looking around and go.
I would
like,
say
lean forward a little bit.
Yeah. So in my head,
non-verbally, we would make eye contact.
Okay.
That
I'm
kind
like,
of,
find something interesting.
yeah, and I'd be like,
Need a
ask him
minute.
about it.
Ask him about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's here with us. I'm
Double
gonna
down on that
respect
tall
him.
question.
I'll answer that in just a minute. So, but
Yeah. Then I'll. Like, do I know what you're talking about when you say ask him about it, though? Do I know?
I would
do
probably
I
come
notice
up
the
to
secret
you.
door?
And I'd be like, ask Rajan to ask him about the secret door.
I send telepathic message to Rajan.
okay.
Coin found some kind of secret entrance. Maybe you should ask your friend about it.
Okay. If I look, is it obvious once they say something about it?
Give me a perception check. Like, it's definitely a secret entrance, so it's not like, oh, there's an outline of a thing,
Unnatural 20.
Okay. Yeah, I think since they pointed it out, you can kind of see the outline of what could be that rock formation, kind of follows a doorway kind
Okay.
of pattern.
So I'll see it. I'll kind of give it a nod to you guys. We'll go to another room,
Okay.
and then when we come back,
Okay.
I'll lead us kind of by it, and then point it out and go, "Is there something through here?"
You hear this really low growl, and he says, "None of your business is what's in there."
Oh no.
I'm gonna telepathic to your head. Apologize, and then lead us out of the room.
I'll just not necessarily right now. As we're going through, I'll ask him if he knows the fate of the others and the sword.
Okay. Yeah. He says, Haruman serves Zariel faithfully. He was one that immediately joined her. He says, Jandar, and he kind of chuckles and he says, he ran into his own problems.
Tripped over a rock, cracked his head open. He survived the fall, but it got infected. He's
Yeah.
real nasty.
He says, as for your grandfather, and there's a change in tone when he speaks Yale's name. That's there's this weird pause, or this he speaks more reverently of Yale than of any of the others, and he says, your grandfather and Yale fled with the sword. Zariel hunted them down, but Yale escaped. I know that at some point your grandfather was captured, but he did not hold the sword.
Very well.
So is Zariel nice, or is he one of those people, or is she one of those people you just kind of put up with because it's part
So
of the
you
deal?
you asked the tall question first, or do you ask that question first?
Tall question first.
Okay. He says,
One of those things I just have to know.
yeah.
One of those bard questions.
He kind of growls lowly, and he says, this was not the form that the gods gave me. Zariel made me into this.
That's the follow up to that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then Zariel, great. He says, she is a ruthless and mighty warrior and a great asset to the devils and the battle of Avernus.
Devils.
Okay.
Don't know any myself.
Going back to the secret door question.
Yeah.
Can I do just an insight on him when he like is like?
Yeah.
"Grr, none
Yeah.
of
Give
your
me
business,
an
blah, blah,
insight
blah,
check.
blah."
Yeah.
Flash if you're less than 10.
Sweet. And can I guidance myself?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Sweet.
No. Meta question, out of character. Do we already know Zariel's got the sword currently?
She does.
No, she does not have the sword for sure.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's the big thing. The sword is still hidden, but we think we can use it somehow to save Elturel.
Yeah, there's some weird power. Like Mad Maggie talked about the sword having some. She described it as like the spark of Zariel, or some part of her essence. There's something. It's a very powerful artifact, and yeah, and it's of great importance to Zariel. You know, and many devils and demons alike have attempted to find it over the years, and there's been no.
We all know about the sword at this point, right?
I think
Did we
I would have talked
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
did
We
we
all
ask
like
the guy
develop
about it?
our own
Yeah,
desires.
and he doesn't know what happened to it.
yeah.
Did you ever
Yale,
hold it? Do you ever hold the sword?
he kind of looks at you like, you know, have you ever held like, you know, the burial robes of Jesus or something like that?
Yeah.
Like that kind of reverence, you know.
That's a 29 insight.
Oh my gosh.
Did you even need the flash?
No.
You get the feeling that he did not want you to see it,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's something very personal to him.
Okay.
Like it's something that it's not like.
The tall question.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like he's almost embarrassed that you noticed it.
Okay.
Like that kind of feeling.
Okay, so like I could get the, like I kind of get the feeling that like this might be like his personal chambers here, or he's got like a shrine in there, or like
Yeah.
something like very deeply personal.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
You could definitely.
Okay.
Would
Oh,
this get you
Maybe
what
he's
you
just
need?
not tidy.
Okay. I'll leave it be, and I'll guide us back towards the entrance.
So have you been here a long time, or?
I won't fall behind sneakily.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
It's only an 18.
Yeah. So I think maybe while Cedric is like asking him about how tall he is and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you fall behind, and you find yourself kind of semi alone. You're probably 10 feet behind the group.
I want to go to the secret door.
Okay.
And try to find a way to open it.
Okay. As you kind of start to make your way back, you feel that church feeling again, with that guilt and that wrongness, and as you get closer, you begin to hear voices in your head, and it says wrong way.
I have stillness of mind that allows I just focus my energy, meditate,
Okay.
and it gets rid of frightened and charmed effects.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is like not a full charm, but I
Okay.
feel like I keep, I just like focus, I calm down, and I just gain a little bit of clarity and
Okay.
ignore the voices and keep going.
Okay, so you continue on. As Atlantis is kind of finishing what he's saying to you, he suddenly gets real stiff, and he turns and he grabs for his sword, and he says, "One of your party members is not here."
I look back
And he kind of
notice-
pushes you out of the way and continues down the hall.
I run after him.
Okay, and yeah, he's kind of charging, and
When
as,
he ran by me, since I don't, maybe it's been too long. I was holding the jack.
you want to attack him.
Do I feel threatened?
You feel like he's trying to get past you and go.
I guess I wasn't like.
If
I was
you
asking
look
questions,
like you're about to, I think Coin would look at you and be like,
I think I'd already let my guard down.
Okay. It's been a little while, yeah.
It's hard to ask personal questions when you got your hand on your sword.
Yeah, so I think you're back into that room with the large slabs, and you're coming around the corner, and you see like these like ghostly beings kind of step through the wall, like probably 10 or so of them, and they look like it's kind of that feeling of the Lord of the Rings when Aragorn's in that tunnel and there's all of these like knights. They kind of come out of the walls and they say wrong way, and you hear behind you, and you see Olanthus sword out coming through, and he says, "What is the meaning of this?"
It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was looking for a bathroom. Is it over this way? I thought we passed it earlier.
Coin's laughing.
It's the best I could come up with.
That's funny. My next.
He
question
turns
was
to
gonna be
you,
about that.
Raijin. He says, "Does your men have no respect?"
This one is. Oh God, what's a good word?
Some people don't know boundaries.
This one is
Curious.
and confused, and I'll look at you like, you need to come on.
It's like, I apologize. I did not mean to offend. I'm from a very different land in here, and sometimes I don't know cultural norms. I don't mean no offense by it.
Okay.
We just have different rituals for these things,
He walks up to you, and you kind of come to his waist,
Yeah.
and he kind of looks down, and you hear this like growling, like guttural sniff.
Yeah.
And he says, "You have a taint on you, little one. Better watch yourself."
Doesn't everybody?
God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. He just kind of looks down at you and kind of shakes his head.
Like, you're not one to talk there, big fella.
I'll just kind of say like, Q, we're leaving.
All right, I will go. You have a good time being an undead servant forever of a fucking tomb.
He says, he says, "Have fun serving whatever you have agreed to."
I will. I'm having a great time. I'm gonna leave this place. Yeah, watch me leave. Oh, look at that. I can go wherever I want.
So
Nice.
he doesn't say anything. He just walks
Yeah.
with you to the entrance, and
So once we get to the entrance, I'll tell everybody else, just be like, you go on ahead. Just give me a minute.
okay. So you climb the stairs, and at the top of the stairs you see these gigantic bulls, a pair of them standing, and they're lashed to this like chariot, this like spiked metal chariot. Obviously, this is Olanthus's ride. And these like massive bulls kind of huff at you as you come up the stairs.
Nice.
And like once it's just me and him,
Mhm.
I'll look at him like, you have failed in your duties. I understand you've sworn a new oath, and it is abhorrent. And I swear to you, I'm gonna find that sword. I'm gonna come back here, and I'm gonna shove it in your fucking chest.
They tied it back.
He says, he kind of looks at you, and there's no like, he doesn't feel threatened. You get this sense of sorrow. And he says, "I have not sworn any new pact. I tried to escape the pact I made with Zariel, and I know the feeling of a sword in my chest." And he says, "I had no choice."
I'll say, I understand that, and I will remove you of this oath by force.
Okay.
You disgust me. And I turn and leave.
Okay. You kind of just see him stand there, like there's no response from him. There's no like ooh or anything.
Oh, yeah, I
like,
don't expect
like
anything.
You just kind of he's just still and stands there and watches you kind of climb the stairs.
Yep. That's all I got.
Okay.
As soon as I get off the mound, I take a piss.
Okay. One of the bulls kind of looks at you and it takes a piss as well, and it's just like on the ground.
Carry on.
And it goes.
I mean, I didn't have to go when I was lying, but that dude is real scary.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
What do now?
We make our way back to the
Yeah,
demon
I
grinder.
think that's everything we're gonna get out of this.
Yep.
Unless you're willing to take on your granddaddy's dead friend.
No, I will deal with him later.
I turn and I go, what was your plan? What were you even doing?
Me?
No, him.
Hey,
You left the room!
I wanted to see what's behind the secret door.
What secret? No one gave me a warning of the secret door
Yeah,
either.
no.
There's a secret door? What the heck?
Cool. Let's take a 5-minute break. I gotta pee. real
Yeah, no,
quick,
that's
and then
fine.
We'll,
Yep.
get good, so.
I was actually going to suggest the same thing.